All right. So this week on Raccoon Titties, big guest. I'm happy to have him here. We actually were able to get on a New York comic. How are you liking LA so far?
LA fucking sucks. They's got no good restaurants.
Right. Tell me more.
Pizza is good. Fwah, fwah, fwah. Fwah, 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 fwah.
It sounds like you're kind of doing a Dave Attell thing, but not actually saying words.
Real comedy.
Do you guys do comedy in New York, or is it just mainly podcast wars?
We mainly just do podcast wars and fight a lot. Stand-up, real stand-up, pretty rare.
Interesting.
You know, I mean, I call them a Nazi. And then they find a video of me sucking off a homeless guy. You know, real comedy type stuff. And then it's not like LA, where you got the door guy at the comedy store. He knows you and is very nice. We suck off homeless guys.
Well, to each his own, I guess.
We say unhoused. That's real comedy. New York style.
That was our interview with a New York comedian. Boy, he was mad at all those podcast wars they got going. I hope everybody's okay. You know, even all comedy, I think, is just a lot of like, I hope everyone's okay, you know, doing stand-up. But anyways, we got to get to this thing. I've been asked to do this by various people online. I've been asked to address the Ian Russo list of his top 100 comics. I was sort of ignoring it a little bit, but I want to read to you. You know, a bunch of people messaged me when it came out, and one of the people that messaged me directly was Ian Russo himself. I'll read you what Ian said to me. You know, there's like a bunch of messages. Hold on. Maybe he messaged me on Instagram. No doubt. Just listen to your podcast. Oh, here it is right away. So it's a link to this list. It says congratulations with an exclamation point. And then it says well deserved, keep grinding. So,
wow.
Yeah. Sorry, did you get on the list?
I don't want to talk about it.
You want to be on? I'll be honest. I'll be totally honest with you. I did look at it even before he sent that to me. If I want to be
29th, right?
Yeah, I'm 20. I think I'm 29th. Yeah. I saw him posting. I was like, I bet I'm on this just because I know that I figured that Ian likes me. So it seems to be mainly a list of people that Ian likes. I'm not sure about I don't know a lot of the people, so I'm not sure exactly if he's just doing it based off stand-up ability.
I don't want to be an aguacate dude, but
yeah,
it's a lot of people that from Chatterbox aren't on there.
Yeah, there's not enough Chatterbox representation. That's true, Ian. You should. You've gone there a lot, and I wonder why the list doesn't reflect that more.
I'll tell you one thing. He peels out of the parking lot. I don't know if that's an indicator.
He drives away fast.
Yes.
He goes and does a few jokes about bones, and then he generally leaves it out of the thing as soon as possible. I mean, what I do like about the list is that now I'm 29, but right above me at 28 is my buddy Kenny Lyon.
Oh.
So there are two great rankings there. You know, two kind of what would you say, eccentric LA personalities, no holds barred people that, you know, say what they feel at all times. So I like that. Yeah, I don't know. Did you read through the list at all? Did you see anybody you know?
Did, but I didn't. I did not read every single description.
Yeah.
I just read the names and got more and more angry. And like that part of inside of you is like, maybe on number one, like when you get down to like number two, you're like, there's still one left, you know?
That is exactly what I was thinking. I was scrolling through it, and I've looked through so many of those lists in comedy that lists come out. You know, obviously they're usually more important lists like Variety or whatever, or comics to watch. I generally don't think I'm going to show up because they tell you, I think, before you, you have an idea. But I was going through it, and even comedian. I was actually not the first crazy person comedian list I've made. Ernie Stone, shout out to my buddy Ernie, came up with some sort of strange list that all these. It wasn't like a 100 through 1 category. It was like different categories where it would be like, is good in this scenario. One of them was can crush in any room, and he put me on there. I didn't even see the list. Somebody just showed it. They showed me like a screenshot of it because he had deleted it because I think people were making fun of him or something. But so this is my second eccentric comedy LA person list I've made. So I'm really racking it up. So if Mystery Dan comes out on a list and I'm not on it, I will be heartbroken.
Congratulations, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I wonder, and then people would message me about it and ask me, and people would say like, ask me to, you have to address this, you have to talk about it. I like it when people do this. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing. I mean, crazy people making lists is, you see if you're on it or not. And I do like that feeling scrolling through. So I'm scrolling through it. It'd be like 100 to 80, 70. And then I got down to like 20. I'm like, am I going to be like number 1 on this list? You know, something like that. Or am I going to be not on it at all? Mm-hmm. But I like seeing, I don't know Ryan the Cable Viewer. I don't know him personally. But I saw that he was number 1, and that made me happy because I like people with ridiculous names. I saw somebody at an open mic whose name, they brought them up as Nothing Lasts Forever Part 2. That was the host, the open mic was like, all right, everybody give it up for Nothing Lasts Forever Part 2. And that alone just made me laugh really hard. I was like, this has got to be good. Yeah. You know? I think I've gotten to the point, when you start out doing comedy, people that are really eccentric and strange sort of piss you off because you're just like, I want to be doing my material. I'm practiced really hard. And this idiot doesn't know what they're doing and they're just wasting their time. And now that I've been doing it so long, I'm just like, I'm so bored with what people say that if somebody comes up and their name is Nothing Lasts Forever Part 2, I love it. I'm like, great. I hope this person does something like really crazy and then says something offensive. It will like kill at least, it will kill like 10 minutes of the mic for me because I'll be like reliving. I won't even listen to the next comic, especially if they say something offensive. Oh, cannot wait. Cannot wait to see it. I don't know. Should we look at some of the comics on the list and just go over them? Or
yeah, I'm down. Let's do. Who's the top 10?
The top. Do you think I have it memorized, bro? I don't know.
You told me. You said Ryan the Cable Guy.
Ryan the Cable Guy. Let me look. Actually, you know what? Since he messaged me, I do have the list right here. I wonder if I can get to it quickly. I know the number 100 was Josh Edelman, who's a friend of mine.
But we got to look at the competition you have.
Yeah. Let's look who beat me.
Also, when is Brendan Cooney going to make his eccentric top 100 list?
Could happen. I mean, this list did very well. Maybe I should. Maybe I should do a list of... I did do a list of the top 5 worst Twitters.
Oh, shit.
So top 10 is Ryan the Cable Viewer, who I don't know, but I've said I like his name. Number 2 is Nick Linsmeyer. I also don't know him, but he seems like a nice guy because he follows me on social media, and that's a way to win me over. Ahmed Al-Qadri. I do know Ahmed. He's number 3. Nice guy. Sam Bilski. I know Sam. He's a nice guy too. Bryson Banks, number 5. I don't know Bryson, but one time he messaged me on Instagram asking me if I wanted to do the open mic he has, and the winner of that open mic gets to do Jam in the Van, which is a show. You ever heard of Jam in the Van?
No, I never heard of that.
It's some show that it's a good show, and I was on Jam in the Van the week that he had messaged me, so I kind of wanted to be like, already on Jam in the Van this week actually, buddy. But instead I just said thank you because I did appreciate that. It's funny now that there are open mics, you can win open mics now. Yeah. Now it's a competition to get on shows. So I've just plugged his show, so I'm sure he's happy about that. Teresa, this is a list of a lot of people that like follow me, but I don't know who they are. Teresa Lowe, don't know. Caitlin Eckstein, number 7. That's a Fourth Wall host. She's nice. Number 8, Felix McNulty is the owner of the Comedy Chateau. So the owner of the Comedy Chateau is the 8th best comic in Los Angeles. Joe Bando is number 9. I know Joe vaguely. I did one of his shows. He was nice to me. Joe, I think, gets into it with people online about like conservative stuff or whatever. So that's what he's known. And then number 10 is Kazim Rahman, who I'm friends with and is a good comedian. So yeah, I'm happy to be on the list with those 10 people. None of them don't have a problem with any of them. I don't think I have a problem with anybody on this list, honestly. These are not the comics I don't like. So Ian at least did that. Luke Schwartz is 19th. Seems like a plug to get on the old potluck there, Ian. Good for you hustling your way into potluck. Making moves indeed. This guy, Gordon Jackson, number 21, he's really funny. Like, he's a strange guy, I think. But I've seen him at Fourth Wall, which is not somewhere where you want to see somebody, but he is somebody, you know how when you're like, you'll go, someone's about to do stand-up and you'll go like, I'm going to see what this guy's going to say. I actually kind of feel that way about him.
All right, you ready to watch Ryan the Cable Viewer?
Yes, let's watch Ryan the Cable Viewer. Guess where he is? Fourth Wall. We turn it on. It's his like late night set. Like it's his Conan set. He's the last comic. Like we put on Ryan the Cable Viewer's first YouTube thing. It's like Conan tearfully being like, "This is my last show," and I wanted to have on my favorite comedian.
Absolute favorite.
Absolute. This guy is better than Pryor and Ellen DeGeneres and pretty much everyone I've ever seen in my life.
I've seen a lot of comedy. Folks.
In fact, he was my first choice. If I had a time machine to replace Andy Richter, it would be Ryan Cable Viewer. So
I'm excited. So yeah, I got tested recently. It turns out I have equine herpes.
That made me laugh.
Yep. I got it straight from the horse's mouth. Also, I have a yeast infection. I found out I have a yeast infection. I was fucking this Italian bread.
This guy fucks a lot.
Yeah. Horses, Italian bread.
So a lot of ladies are into dad bods. I don't even know if that's true. But I'll settle for a dad bod because right now I'm starting to get a Big Mama bod. So from like Big Mama's house.
This seems like an open mic, right?
Yeah.
And what I like about it is that kind of the same vein of when I'm looking for somebody who's like nuts. I mean, he's already got the name going, which I've mentioned I like. Yeah. But I like people that just do one-liners because you can at least just watch it and be like, oh, okay, yeah. And instead of because the worst is just people that are horrible or awkward or scare you. And that a one-liner comic is never going to be any of those things. They're just be like, I had equine herpes. You're like, what? Or somebody who's like a little bit off, doing one-liners. That's great. They're like, so the other day I bumped my head into a prickly bush, and you're just like, where is this going to go? And the bush said, or whatever. I don't know. I can't do it.
Abstract one-liners.
Abstract one-liners are fine. So I'm happy with that. I have no problem. Ryan the Cable Viewer, maybe he deserved number 1. I don't know. Number 2 is Nick Lensmayer, right? Was that what I said?
Nick Lensmayer?
Lins Mayer. This is somebody who follows me on social media, so I won't be bashing him, regardless of whether it's good or not. But I'm interested to see. Nick, you're getting playtime on old Raccoon Titties. He has a podcast of his own. Good for you. Always good.
No, you're not seeing what I'm seeing, dude.
What's that?
He's got a podcast with Ryan the Cable Viewer.
Uh-oh. See, this list is rigged.
Yeah.
This is a rigged list, dude. Yeah. All these people know each other and have shows. Ian, we see through your list. It's not real.
Ian wants a spot on a podcast and a spot at the Comedy Store.
Ian wants a spot on Black Pill Up episode 8. As I see episode 7. Ian's finagling. Luke, who would have guessed? Ian Russo, the guy that made a list of open mics on his website. It's just a cold-hearted networker, apparently.
Who's number 3?
Tisk, yeah, with Skip. Ahmed Al-Qadri. I do know Ahmed. He's a nice man. Oh, killed Tony, huh?
We got a 5-minute take.
Started working out when I was 15 years old, so I can.
It's very loud, Ahmed.
Yeah.
All it's ever gotten me was compliments from other guys who work out. Like I've never had a hot girl cite sized me up and then asked how much I bench. 220. I remember in college.
It's true. He is very strong.
Yes.
You have to, sometimes the truth is good.
Yeah.
You got to address if you're, he's a very strong guy. Positive. I can see Ahmed's dong in this thing. What are you doing? Your dong is out. You got to get new pants, man. I can see your whole back in your dong. It's too much. This clip is like a sex clip. What are you doing?
I hated being skinny. I was like, I'm going to gain all the muscles. So I took mass gainer, creatine, and a pre-workout called Jack 3D.
I took Jack 3D.
Before it's FDA approved.
Jack 3D?
Yeah. It's like a thing you take. It's a pre-workout thing. I remember when I was at the GNC, I was weakling and I wanted to get stronger. And I was asking him about pre-workout stuff because some yoked guy had told me that. And the yoked guy at GNC was like, oh yeah, man, Jack 3D is great, dude. Like, the thing I like about it is like when you take it, it makes your skin crawl sometimes. I'm just like, some people don't like that, but I was like, yeah, dude. And I took it, I was like, I hope my skin crawls. I don't really know what that means, but I hope it does. And it absolutely did. It's probably a sign, it's like a pre-stroke sign or something like that. But it helped, I guess. But, you got to do what you got to do to get on that Al Qadre dong out stage presence, I guess.
Did you say that this guy follows you too also?
Yeah, I know him. He's a nice guy. I've seen him around. I think that Ian's trying to get on his outdoor show.
So far, this list is killer.
This list is people that have shows.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because Ian is you'd think he's so nuts. He's such a like a oddball that his list would just be like who he really thinks, and it would still be weird. Mm-hmm. It'd be like a list of people. You'd be like, okay, that makes sense. But then you'd be like, what? That guy doesn't even. That's just like. That's the principal from his high school? I don't know. Well, yeah. Should we keep Ahmed or next?
Next, let's do one more.
Sam Bilski.
All right.
Sam, I don't really know him that well, but I like Sam because he seems like a nice guy. It'd be funny if it was just like all four of them on a podcast. He's just trying to get on one podcast that has a lot of the same people. That'd be funny if we like looked one of these comics up and it was just like a headline of how they like killed their children or something.
He put up a Zoom show.
All right, so I decided to try something new this week, and so I went to a dating counselor, and I was kind of tired of the Tinder thing, and so she gave me some advice. She says, think of dating like a job interview. And I do the same thing in every job interview, which is I lie my ass off. So she's going to be kind of disappointed when she finds out that I
want to hear the punchline,
executive and I don't have an 8-inch dick. But I guess I'll cross that bridge.
It was a dick joke.
Dude, you gotta look at the screen. People aren't laughing. But this is Sam. You gotta put something online that comes up before a Zoom show. That's wild. Like that, you gotta have a clip that comes when people search your name. It's got to be something other than a Zoom show, dude. Like, I know I shouldn't talk because if you search my name, Sam, it will be me in a Flappers outfit because I used to work for Flappers. It'll be me and I don't know how to change it. But you and me we both have to find out how we can change our search history when people search our names. That's not the clip you want showing up. And I say that as a friend. It's a Zoom show, and it's like there are 3 people watching. It shows them not laughing. It's a screen. It looks like some sort of work, like Zoom thing. Everybody's here, so Sam, why don't you start us off? Well, the progress report in Topeka is not good. And it's losing business. You know who one of the guys is? Danny Francese. You know who that is?
Is he a kid to like one of the
mafia families?
Yeah.
No, you racist. I'm just kidding. You can't be racist against Italian people.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. They're so great. But no, that's the reason why. Because of how great they are as people. Danny Francese is he was in Mean Girls. You know Mean Girls?
Oh, yeah.
He's the guy who goes, she doesn't even go here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know Dan. Another dark secret of my past, I took a UCB and he was in that. He's a nice guy. But yeah, it shows Danny Francesi and two people just not laughing at the punchline. That's not what you want.
Also, when I was younger in comedy, this one guy was like, "Hey, dude, I want to film you doing your comedy." I was like, "Okay, awesome." And he's like, "But with no audience, you know?"
Oh, no.
I was like, "All right, let's do it." And then
it sucks when you get tricked into that kind of stuff. I have people offering me that stuff like that now, and I'm like, and I send it to my friends, and they're like, "What are you two? Come on." But keep going.
And so I did it in some art gallery, of course, in Pomona. And then years later, when I search myself, it's the first thing that pops up is me just like awkwardly laughing at myself doing comedy. It was the most cringeworthy thing of all time.
It's always the worst thing that's going to show up. You have to. That's why I respect people that are like very careful early on about what they put out. I just don't have that in me. I don't have the care. But the people who are like, no, and you're just like, wow, you can say no?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's great. But yeah, I would go so far as to say, Sam, take this clip down.
I don't think Sam put it up. I think it's the comedy competition.
Oh, well, this is a
Contact
competition.
them.
Oh, no. This is a competition?
Yeah.
This is a Zoom comedy show competition that shows up when you search your name. Find this person like you would a Denzel Washington character does in a movie.
Yeah.
Hunt them down. Kill them.
I mean,
don't kill them.
As far as Zoom shows go, he might have won this one, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if you won it, it says current leader. That's kind of cool. How do you win it? The judge. Whoever the judge is, fuck you. Seriously.
The weight loss journey, it's pretty popular on social media. I like to talk to people about my weight gain journey. I put on about
the judge making people do this is a bad person. Do you have like a fantasy where you like see people bomb and embarrass themselves? How are you going to laugh? The other people watching are comedians. They want to win. Of course they're not going to laugh. For all we know, that 8-inch dick joke was great. The Texas abortion law came out. Switch into that. That happened a few weeks ago, and I just wanted to talk about that because I think I originally wanted to talk about it because that was another successful tweet that I said. And my Twitter's so great. It really factors into so much, Texas, Goonie, Texas. I said, Texas banning abortions but welcoming comedians may go down as one of the worst decisions in human history. This is a tweet where it's like, it's not really that funny. It's just kind of like clever or whatever, and I tweet it out because I'm like, oh, this will do well. And just, so it's an apology. Sometimes I will tweet things just because I think they'll do well.
Yeah.
And then they end up doing the best that I've ever done. And it makes me deeply sad because I'll tweet some joke that I think is hysterical and it gets 12 likes.
Mm-hmm.
Texas banning abortions. And I did the same thing. I did this over the weekend. I did this on 9/11. I was watching the fight between Tito Ortiz and Anderson Silva, and then Evander Holyfield, who's a 58-year-old man who should not be in the ring, fighting a guy who's 44 and not even retired yet. And Evander Holyfield hasn't fought in 12 years. So it's totally immoral. And I was watching it because I'm also immoral. But I essentially just tweeted what happened because Tito Ortiz is the former mayor or pro temp. Somebody wrote him. I wrote the tweet. And somebody wrote like, he's not actually the mayor. He's the mayor. Blah blah blah. Shut up. No one likes you in your life because you say stuff like that. Yeah, I know that, but I didn't want to research it. So I said what happened. I said the former mayor of Huntington Beach just walked out to his pay-per-view boxing match on Triller holding a Blue Lives Matter flag, and then was knocked out in the first round with one punch. That tweet is just what happened. No joke in it at all, really. And it did better than any of my tweets have ever done. 1,469 likes, 23 quote tweets that are just like bagging on him. None of them are like, this idiot Brendan is a moron or whatever, which I thought they all would be. But no. And then 163 retweets. That's the best. That's the closest I've ever done to going viral. I know that's not viral. I don't know what viral means, but I know that isn't it.
I think it's so funny that you're like, this Texas abortion thing, let's talk about it. My Twitter's blowing up.
That's all I care about. No, I mean, obviously, I don't agree with it. I'm pro-choice. I think women should be able to do whatever it is they want with their body, obviously, like most people I know. I just don't, why would you even care? What is like, on the pro-life side, I'm just like, it doesn't affect, I would care so much about the unborn. No, you don't. Watch that George Carlin clip about it. That's exactly what I think.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, why even expand on it more? Texas is crazy. You know what I thought about? I do remember actually what I was thinking about. with Texas is the governor, Greg Abbott. He is the guy, I guess, he signed off on this bill, and he said that they were going to eliminate rape. That's how, because people were like, what about if women are impregnated through rape, and like, what about those people and they can't terminate the pregnancy? And he's like, well, we're going to do, it doesn't sound like this at all. Well, we're going to do is we're going to eliminate rape. Going to make rape not happen ever again. Okay? That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do now. So what I thought about that, I mean, the reaction of the left is like, oh, how horrible, it's terrible that he's doing this, disgusting. He doesn't understand women's reproductive bodies. He thinks that you can just eliminate rape. It's terrible, blah, blah, blah. And what I think is like, you're not really listening to him, because like, this is the governor that, if you may not remember this, Texas had that problem with their electricity because they're independent, so their whole power grid went down and people were freezing to death. So the way he's going to stop rape is by having families freeze to death in their homes. That's his plan. So, I mean, it's really well thought out. You cannot rape somebody if you don't have electricity, because A, you can't see them. B, you're probably dying because it's freezing outside. You have there's only so many jackets you can put on, right? There's no power, so that means you can't eat. Your food's going to go bad. How are you going to rape somebody when you have no food? Okay, this is a man who thought it out. So, no, obviously I'm being sarcastic.
It would have made more sense if he was like, we're just going to legalize rape.
Yeah, we could see him. Look, listen, we're going... Texas just gets like super crazy. I mean, it's pretty crazy to be like, let's have all the open micers who are believing free speech move to our state. That's going to go great. That's what we want. The people at the open mic who you're scared of, that's who we want in our state. We want them doing our barista jobs and our Ubers and our Lyfts. That's loose cannons. People that are bitter and angry in Los Angeles. Make them all move. Welcome to Texas. Get a cowboy hat and some boots. I want you to staff my restaurant. Who is in charge in Texas? What is going on? This cannot be your plan. My plan for my state is all the comedians that scare Brandon Cooney. A man who's been doing open mics for 27 years. I haven't been doing that long. But God, we want the people that Greg Abbott's plan for Texas is he wants people that are picked who have funny names on potluck to be like the next residents of his state. Wild, right? Isn't that weird?
He's going to run a Kill Tony to fill his cabinet.
I got a great idea.
I'm looking for a treasure.
We don't have enough cops. Everyone's quitting because people keep calling them pigs and throwing shit at them. So from now on, the way we pick our next cops, Kill Tony. There's be a bunch of funny cops that have 1 minute of stand-up. I don't know much about arresting people, but my name is Hercules the Table, and I have 1 minute of stand-up. So, yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, true that, I mean, I base off most of my stuff off Twitter that I talk about on here. As if you've been listening, you know that. The fight thing, what I think is interesting about that is like I am left. I think left politically, but I'm almost like apolitical in comparison to what you see on social media. And I still have friends that voted for Trump, and I have friends that are conservative and whatnot. And I don't believe in canceling people and that kind of thing. So, but when I tweet these things, I kind of feel like I'll screenshot it and I'll be like, look at me, king of the liberals, because it's all people that just hate conservatives, and they're retweeting me and saying all these like, the cops are pigs or whatever. And I don't know if I'm fully on that all cops are pigs or whatever. So I'm not. And so when I see that, I'm just like, God, I hope they don't look at the rest of the Twitter. I hope they just keep retweeting this nonsense statement I made. It's not even factually accurate. It's not one punch. I just do it for fun. I want people to have fun. In the end, I would like the government to be run from the left, but there's not much I can do. And I just want to have fun. I'm a comedian. I'm not, I've said this before, if I knew what was going on in the world, I wouldn't be trying to do stand-up comedy. I'd be making a difference in whatever you're supposed to do to fight climate change and whatnot. I'd be Gerardo Alarcon.
Yep.
A hero.
A true aguacate, dude.
A true aguacate pepino. You freaking tomate, dude. So, well, let me ask you a question, though, Gerardo.
Yeah, what's up? How's it going?
All right, here's a scenario for you. If somebody offered you $500,000 or dinner with the guy who started the Comedy Bureau, what would you do?
I would have dinner with Barbara.
Barbara from Flappers?
Yeah.
Barbara, Barbara, Barbara. She is kind of like Godzilla. Barbara. You know, like they used to, in old South Park episodes with Barbara Streisand, where it's just Barbara, Barbara. That's what I think when I see her. I'm like, this psychopath. I wonder if they'll let me in. People are like, are you really banned from Flappers? I'm like, I don't know, probably. I really think that they would, do something about it if I showed up.
Really?
I think they'd probably kick me out. They do not like me. Dave was really mad apparently at when the pilot came out. He was mad that Flappers employees took part in it. I had like two former Flappers people that like one current. I didn't even think about that. I was like, they don't care. They won't watch. But of course they watch. Those weirdos, they're like the LAPD that like look up social media stuff. They're like, they have like an NSA person. They have like a lame NSA person who just follows what I do. I have delusions of grandeur. So bad. So bad. But I like it. It's you and me. It's you versus me, Flappers. What's your next move? What are you going to do? Because I'm moving to Texas, where I can be on city council. Texas. We don't want abortions. What we do want is jokes that use the F word. Man, that is crazy. Dude, do you watch soccer?
I actually love soccer.
All right, so here's the thing about soccer. I like the World Cup. I like the idea of soccer. I would like playing it if it didn't make my feet hurt. I have bad feet.
Yeah.
Do you have feet? How are your feet?
I have flat feet.
I have flat feet too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the flat feet doesn't bother me as much as I got hammer toe. If you don't know what hammer toe is when your middle toes curl up all gross and they like are prone to injury. So my feet look bad. In fact, one time, if you're a real OG fan of me, you'll see that my old posts where I would post pictures of my toe and people would be like, please don't do this. Someone wrote, I'm quitting comedy. I wish I had all the comments because people really had some good roasts on me because I have this like disgusting feet. And I remember I posted it again during the election and I was like, I'll post this every day if Trump wins, some dumb lefty thing. And people were just like, I can't, please don't post this stuff. This is not funny. This is bad. But yeah, no, so soccer, it's like, soccer is boring. That's why it's on Peacock, because people don't watch stuff on Peacock.
Yeah.
Peacock sucks. You know why I know Peacock sucks? Because Peacock goes down all the time. It's like I was looking at Twitter and it said Peacock was the key word. And I was like, what? Peacock is the key word? Are they upping their game? And it was because Peacock was down. All these people were like, I can't watch the Arsenal game, mate. Bloody can't see my favorite show, man. Back. I hate you, Peacock. But I'll tell you one thing. I thought it was the worst thing ever happened to me was my father left my mother. But now it's Peacock. I'll tell you another thing. I thought the worst thing ever happened to me was I told my best friend I fucked my wife. Did. But now it's Peacock.
Peacock is worse than infidelity.
It's worse. Worse than infidelity, I'll tell you. Peacock, they kept all these people were sad that it went down or whatever. It's funny that Peacock has sports and like woke comedy in The Office. That's what it has. Late night that people post about to feel good about themselves, and The Office, and then just like sports, and that's it. It's like Peacock is basically Quibi and CISO. We'll see how long it lasts. Mm-hmm. These things come out every 2 years. They go, we had this new thing. It's called CISO. It has comedy, but not the mainstream comedy. It's every kind of. It's comedy that every smart people like, but no one likes it. Not smart people, not dumb people, not aliens watching from above. Nobody. People brag on Joe Rogan all the time, but people watch Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
People bag on Alex Jones, but I saw him take ivermectin on his show. It was hilarious. He's like, government doesn't want me to do this, Look at this. And he's like, takes that. Probably not even ivermectin. It's probably just some pill that they wrote. I'll take it. And the idiots watching that are like, you just took it. No, he didn't. Dummy. He didn't take ivermectin. He's a rich person. He's faking everything he does. It's for entertainment purposes. Come on. Even I know this. And I'm a guy that I get pranked I fall for anything. I fall for scams left and right. Even I know that's not really ivermectin. It's Alex Jones takes ivermectin live. No, he didn't.
It would be hilarious though if he did die, like on the broadcast.
I mean, that would be pretty funny. I don't want anyone to die,
but yeah, objectively funny.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. That would just in some horrible way, ivermectin like makes his eyeballs pop out. The left would love that. They would be like laughing and like there'd be tweets like, and they're like all these like memes about how his eyes popped out, just horrible. Like it's a family, you know. It's not like he murdered somebody. He's done some really bad stuff with the Sandy Hook, but I don't think it. You know, you don't want his eyeballs to pop out, do you? Maybe you do. Maybe I do. Honestly, maybe I do. I don't even know what I think anymore. What does it matter? It doesn't matter now. Stuff is so crazy. Just try and be good. Just try and be good.
Trying to inspire the world, man.
Just on the sport of will, man. Peacock. They're trying to get us to watch something called Peacock. Stuff has gone too far. Can you imagine you go back in time, talk to your grandfather or your like great grandfather, and you're just like, yeah, they want us to watch something called Peacock now. And your grandfather's like, what? No, I don't want to watch Peacock. I wanted to watch CISO, and you had to, put in a promo code or something and subscribe to someone's OnlyFans to watch Peacock. I don't know how to do it. It's too complicated, man. You have to screen cap. It's like CISO's like the first, and Quibi were like the first networks where you had to do a screen capture to watch it. You had to say how many trucks were in the thing. You had to count all right, well, if I got, oh shit, I said that a truck was a bus. I thought that bus was a truck. Now I can't watch The Office. This is BS. My friend had a show on Quibi, Jared Goldstein, can't watch it because I don't know the difference between a bicycle and a motorcycle. It's messed up, dude. Do you have any friends who had shows on Quibi?
No, I never even watched it.
Yeah, I never watched it either. I didn't know how to watch it. Yeah. I guess it's supposed to be only on your phone. I don't know. I mean, people watch mostly. We know Andrew Schultz. We talked about how he's like hugely popular. Yeah. But he's like doing stuff people watch: YouTube, TikTok, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
He was never like, I want my TV show to only be on phones. That guy knows. That random dude knows more than the executives at NBC.
Yeah.
Think about that. That's why people are moving to Texas. Being on city council. Worst decision of my life was when I started Peacock. Sounds like a drug. I was addicted to Peacock for 15 years. Couldn't put it down. Couldn't put it down. All right. I should probably get to our favorite segment. It's so ridiculous. Everybody's favorite. One of our.
You have a new segment, right?
Oh, I have a new segment. Fuck, you're right. Almost went. So Libsyn, the thing I use to host this podcast, shows you what states you're in. And right now I'm in more than half of the states in America, but there are a certain amount of states I'm not in, and it makes me mad. So every week I'm going to briefly talk about something about that state. So one of the states I noticed that I'm not in is Vermont. And where do you get off? Where do you get off, Vermont? You're a state that scares people that aren't white. Okay? I had a friend who went to college, Middlebury and Vermont, and she left after like not even a semester. And when I asked her about Vermont, she had this sort of like 1,000-yard stare. What do they say? When you're in war? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the warrior stare.
Yeah, it's like you stop. I'd be like, so why didn't you like it? And she'd just be like, I don't know. I just it just wasn't for me. It's like, because it's terrifying. It's a shit state. You should get some Raccoon titties in your life, Vermont. You piece of shit state. All you got is ice cream and a guy that can't win the presidency and gets blamed for everything. I'm Bernie Sanders. I don't listen to Raccoon titties, and I want to do stuff that nobody actually thinks I can get done.
I listen to rap music.
I listen to rap with Jay-Z. I have a picture with Jay-Z, and if you had me as a campaign advisor, you'd probably be president of the United States right now. Mm-hmm. Me and Gerardo, we could do a podcast, blow you up. But what do? You're in Vermont. Nobody knows what your plan to actually get stuff done is. You have all these great ideas. what have you actually accomplished? Not a damn thing. All right.
Growing up, my next door neighbor was from Vermont, and one time I did his lawn.
Yeah.
And he screamed at me because the edges weren't done correctly.
See, that's a classic Vermont shit.
Yeah.
You chill out, get on with Raccoon Titties, get your perspective right. All right. So every week we talk about, every week we do our favorite segments. And checking in with Scott. So let's check in with Scott. So the tweet I saw from Scott this week, he said, "It's with a heavy heart that I announce that bar patrons who openly talk about voting for Larry Elder tip better than most progressives." It's been a very political show. Mm-hmm. And Scott is just helping that out. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes conservatives tip better than lefties. And some lefties, like, you know, they talk a big game, but then they go to the bar and order their vegan drinks, and then they don't leave a good tip. And that's messed up. And if you want people to consider these progressive ideals, if you want people to vote for Bernie, despite your horrific personalities and meeting you and making them not want to leave the house ever again, then you got to start tipping and being nice to people. That's honestly, it's a stupid, vague thing. Not vague, a cliche thing to say, but the nicer you are, that's the person who you ask what they think, right? Who the nicest person, the smartest, most successful and nice person, that's who you're like, I wonder, what do you think about this issue? You don't ask the guy on Twitter who's like, I don't like these people and I'm muting everyone that says this word. Why would you ever ask them anything? Never. So people don't get it.
It's not about blue or red, it's about green. Tip.
Exactly. Not about blue or, as I've said it, I should have just said that. And that's right. I'm starting to sound like Bill Maher. I shouldn't know that. People will be like, he's Bill Maher. And then no one will want to watch me. So, and then, of course, everybody's favorite segment is Heather okay? So, Heather, this week, a guy I asked to Sadie Hawkins in high schools, and then in parentheses he said no, passed away. And I'm honestly, I like, before I read the rest of it, Heather's tweets will be like, whew, like so quickly.
Yes.
They really like, it starts off with like a guy and then he's dead. And it's just so I'll read, a guy I asked to Sadie Hawkins in high school, and then the next thing is going to be like, and then he murdered someone, and then I have cancer.
Yeah.
A guy I asked to Sadie Hawkins in high school, he said no, passed away. And I'm honestly truly upset that we never slept together. And then it says he apologized for saying no in 2014. Well, Gerardo dies of COVID.
Oh my God, you caught me off guard.
That's what I do here. I'm training to go to Texas.
I'm choking on my vomit.
I'm sorry. Don't die. You're so important. I can't. You've heard the audio quality before you. You can't leave this heavenly, earthly coil or whatever the thing
Just
is.
the amount of parentheses used.
A lot of parentheses. Very confusing tweet structure, Heather. But yeah, I'm glad. First of all, I'm glad he apologized. That's very nice of him to do. He missed his chance. And I don't know why. I guess, well, I shouldn't say I know. I think about every person that wronged me in high school. I think about it constantly. In fact, I was thinking of maybe doing like a separate podcast with my best friend from high school where we invite on women that were mean to us in high school and just I'd be like, why? Why did you do that? You hurt our feelings. You're not hot. Yeah. So Heather, you're just doing what I'm doing, so I can't even bag on you. But I do think it's hilarious that you went from, he's dead me and then he's dead.
Yeah.
So that's great. Keep it up. It's very funny and very entertaining, Twitter. That's going to be all for us. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, wait, one last thing. I can't believe I almost forgot. Every week we ask our guest who their least favorite comic is. This week, no different. I asked the New York comic who his least favorite guest was, and he said, that motherfucker Ken Gar.